What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to talk about DEC and the flywheel today. Oh, that awesome term, right? The buzzword of 2023. And why I actually want the flywheel to take off rather slowly. And don't get me wrong, I want to be bullish. This is not a Papa Bear video. This is going to be very rationally thought and logically explained, hopefully. But as much as I want SPS to moon, as much as I want DEC to hit peg, actually DEC hitting peg, I want that to be soon. But here's my thought process behind it. There's just a ton of SPS still in the mix, right? We have, 1.025 billion tokens, right? A little more than half of that staked. And we're going to need to see a massive supply crunch, in my opinion, to see SPS go to numbers that I think we're all dreaming of. So I want to see more SPS burned, which means we need to get the DEC sinks online while SPS is still relatively low and burn as much as possible now. So what do I mean by that? Okay. Well, with SPS at 3 cents, we've already done the math, right? Like that can burn, if we're getting like $30,000 worth of DEC every single day if we were to burn it. So that's still a lot of DEC. Now, for DEC itself, we are creeping up ever so close to the intended peg value, which is $1 per thousand, or 0.001, and we're getting there, right? You can see the burning has slowed down significantly over the last 30 days. We burned 1.1 billion, but just yesterday or the last 24 hours, we've only burned like 3 million, right? And so you can start to see that things are slowing down. Most of the land is now claimed, or at least not claimed, but surveyed. There's still significant amounts, so we should see more DEC being burned over time here, as we get closer to land phase 1.5. But a part of me, and I know this is going to be blasphemous to say, because I'm trying to be a little contrarian here. A part of me hopes that we don't get we don't get land phase 1.5 earlier rather than later. Now, hear me out. I'm going to try and explain this in the way that I'm seeing. People are not selling DEC as much as they were before. Many large landowners are starting to accumulate DEC, right? Like the trade on DEC has gone down quite a bit, right? Sure, you can make a couple percentage point swings if you buy DEC now and then sell it at peg, and there's still going to be a lot of DEC that's probably sold by the team for them to generate revenue, right? Because all of the chaos packs that were bought with DEC being well below its pack, that's a hit that the team took for the economy, and now they're gonna take that revenue. But my point here is, what I would love to see, especially with guilds coming up, okay? Guilds, if that gets implemented in May before lands do, and we get the new, we get new buildings or new things that we could spend on within guilds, or maybe people just are, over time naturally leveling up their guilds, given a couple more brawls, right? We'll have a couple more cycles between now and the end of May, for example. What I'm hoping is that we hit peg sooner rather than later, and what I'm tracking is how much SPS is being burned for DEC. Now, at 3 cents, we're in order to burn 1,000, in order to get 1,000 DEC or convert SPS to DEC, that's going to take like 33 SPS at current prices. Versus like if SPS was at 50 cents, right, then, or we'll just say 25 cents, it would only take 4 SPS. So we want to burn a lot more SPS at these lower prices. And, I have another video where I'm trying to put together a Rift Watchers group buy, because with SPS at these low prices, I want to lock up as much as possible away, just like put it away, take it off the market, because then we'll be able to see, in my opinion, an easier chance for SPS to moon in the way that we're all hoping that it will, right? We want to feel that supply crunch, and 1 billion tokens is still a lot in this. It's still just a massive amount. You think about where SPS was when it went to $1 the first time, right? We had, I think, less than 200 million back in, I want to say like August, September of 2021. There was less than 200 million tokens in existence. And so we've essentially 5x that. We're over a billion now. And so, obviously, I don't think we're ever going to get down to 200 million tokens again. But my point is that there's also been direct utility given to SPS. The ecosystem is just much more widely, it's just much more widely integrated with a bunch of different things like tournaments and all that, right? So what I would want to see is hopefully we get something with guilds sometime in May, and then land phase 1.5. The team has already said maybe Q3. So at this point, my mentality is we're probably going to get it in Q3. So in that time frame, we can burn a lot more SPS if SPS stays at lower prices, because once land goes live, right, you have a lot of catalysts there to get more DEC, right? A lot of people right now, they're looking at this and they're like, well, why should I necessarily be hoarding DEC, right? And even though I just said, right, a lot of people probably are hoarding DEC, there's gonna be other folks who are like, if it's this close to peg, then there's no need for me to go and grab it now. We might see some action like liquidity pools or whatever, but once land is actually here, the people who are sitting on the sidelines, right? And in my opinion, it's probably gonna be a lot of the smaller landowners, right? So like myself, that will need to go and get the 50,000 DEC to maximize their plot and stake for the monsters, as well as maybe people who didn't buy building in a box. They'll have to get the what's that called? The core or the power supply. And then, of course, with grain being something significant and the grain automated market maker that's going to be in there, I do believe land phase 1.5 is going to be significant in terms of being a DEC burn catalyst. And so therefore, if we get this massive rush when 1.5 comes in, it will be great if over the next couple of months before that happens, we are burning a ton of SPS just simply due to need, right? People who need to go and buy their need to go and like upgrade their guilds, spend on whatever, things like that, I think will be super clutch. So we're getting closer. Obviously, this is something that I'm tracking every single day, but the price, or the value, I should say, of DEC is ticking up, because I do believe that there's much less sellers, right? Like people have become either net buyers or hoarders in anticipation of when land phase 1.5 goes live. But if again, contrarian, if we push that to the end of Q2 or early Q1 and we can get other significant DEC sinks, and I'm looking at you guilds, if we can get those in May, and hopefully like by mid-May at the latest, which is about a month from now, then I'm excited about the fact that we'll have 4, 6, 8 weeks, right? If it dips into Q2 or Q3, we'll have 4, 8, 6 weeks for people to actually need DEC now for something in game, right? They'll need the DEC right now, and that to me could be really exciting in terms of like burning SPS, because it would actually make sense to do so. And what that would actually do for SPS is hopefully keep it at a better floor price, right? Where we're maybe going up slowly, but we're definitely not going down. And the reason I say that, and again, this is not financial advice, I'm just trying to explain the rationale behind it, right? Or the logic behind it, is I get a lot of SPS through various means, right? Through staking rewards, through through staking rewards, through LP rewards, through playing the game. So a bunch of different areas, guild brawls. So if I need DEC and DEC is at peg, or maybe even slightly above peg, then I can just take the SPS that I have, and instead of selling it, right, I just start burning it. So all of a sudden we have, I'm not a net seller of SPS for DEC whenever I need DEC. I just start burning it. So there's less sell pressure on that overall. So I would love to see a steady, sustained growth over the next, we'll call it 2 months, between now and mid-June. Actually, no, we'll say now, between now and mid July. So that would be about 3 months, assuming that land phase 1.5 gets pushed to July, right? So in that time, I think guilds are going to be the biggest thing. We could have other potential catalysts for DEC, such as like the promo card that's coming up. But keep in mind, that's not a DEC burning mechanism. That is going to be a company revenue. So it's great that the company will be holding on to that, but it doesn't remove it from the ecosystem. So I'm all for a slow and steady flywheel. I would love, I've been saying that I think April is going to be a bit of a lull, maybe even early May. So we're already seeing that. There's just not much happening now that the land rush is essentially done, obviously we'll see some market activity over time, and there are DEC burn mechanisms in place already for, you know, the listing fee for energy. So hopefully all of that will start to mix in with guilds and start to build up over time, right? Current guild structure, as well as hopefully upcoming guild structure in this quarter, hopefully by mid-May. And you know, ultimately, if we can get that and start burning tons of SPS over the next couple of weeks here at these low prices in order to get that DEC, that's going to be really exciting. So this is the number that I'll be tracking. 2.75 million DEC has already been burned. I just created a log today, so I'll go in, I don't know, maybe weekly or daily if I can remember, but definitely weekly, and start to see if this number will tick up once we get closer to DEC being at peg or even above peg, which is where it would make sense. But some people are just lazy. I mean, people have already burned 2.75 million DEC SPS for DEC when DEC was well below its peg. So, you know, whatever the case ends up being, we'll see what happens. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.